Okay, this is an interview for Siri number 5. This is Ashton. Okay, my first question is, what factors influence our perception of violent crime or terrorism?
So I think that one of the biggest ways that our perception is influenced is by the media and by like news sources and what news we watch and what we ingest through like watching the news, but also on social media, and how much we're on social media is a big influencer. But I think that also like the way that you're raised, my parents have certain views about crime and terrorism, and so I think that being raised in like a Christian home or just like whatever my parents are believing, that kind of rubs off on me, I think, and so that definitely has influenced how I perceive crime and terrorism.
Yeah. How do you think violent crime and terrorism affects you mentally or emotionally in your day-to-day life, and why?
So I think in my day-to-day life, I don't really think about it, and I'm definitely aware of my surroundings. I think that um, it might be like a very skewed perception because I am a woman, but like just being aware of who's around me and having like a certain level of cautiousness, like I don't go anywhere at night or like those kinds of things. I don't do anything huge by myself. Like I always have a friend with me or things like that. That I'm aware of my surroundings and I'm cautious, but I wouldn't say that it's very anxiety or inducing in my day-to-day life. I think if a big event happens, like when there's a school shooting or like something like that, that definitely affects me more so. And in those days after that big event, I may have more anxiety about those things and be more aware on my campus or like at the grocery store or whatever where those shootings may happen. Then I'm like, oh, maybe I should be more aware. And so those specific events may cause more anxiety. But my day-to-day life, I would say it's more of just a caution rather than being anxious about it.
Yeah. What solutions do you think support to reduce the intentional killing of Americans, and why?
So I do think that Americans love guns, and so I think that to a certain extent I do support gun control and being having more control over who gets guns and why they're getting those guns. I grew up in a really small town where like hunting and things like that was a really big deal, and so sometimes it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, let's just take them all away. But I think that that would be the best solution to the problem, and kind of reduce those things from happening.
Right. Do you think that that is like a feasible solution for where you live, and what obstacles do you think would stand in the way of actually implementing that?
So I think that Texans are very proud of the guns that they have and how many guns they have. And so I think that it should be feasible, but I don't think it is because of that fact. And I think that would be an obstacle to kind of controlling that. And so I think that if we did put control on who gets guns and why they're getting those guns, that it would be hard to do that in Texas. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ashton. Bye.